weren't. So I definitely think they're the best lineup in baseball. For number 2, I have the Padres. 1 through 5 is very good. You have you have Grisham, Tatis, uh, Bogarts, Soto, Jury. You have a lot of
Machado.
and Machado too. Yeah, I forgot about him. So yeah, the Padres. I think they have the second best lineup in baseball. I have the Blue Jays, who just signed Dalton Varsho, Diamondbacks. So I think it's a very good bat. So I think
That's a good pickup.
they're gonna have a good. They have a very good lineup as well. I think the Guardians are 4. That lineup is very young, and I think it's also very talented. I think the signing of Josh Bell is a very, very good pickup. And I think with Oscar Gonzalez, J. Rem, Stephen Kwan, you can't forget about their leadoff hitter. He's a beast. And Ahmed Rosario too. So I think their lineup's also very good. And then the Braves, I have that for my number 5. I think Michael Harris obviously had a very good year last year. Albie's going to come back being good, hopefully. Well, not hopefully, at least, but Albies will come back. You got Austin Riley, who had a hell of a year last year. You have Darno, they just signed Sean Murphy for 6 years. I think they have a very good lineup as well. So that's my top 5 lineups: Stros, Padres, Blue Jays, Guardians, and then the Braves.
Yeah, I definitely think it was really tough to come up with 5. I mean, I wanted to get the Cubs in there somewhere just because I've been liking what I've been seeing on paper from them, all their signings.
I think your guys are forgetting a team. Now, this is not in order. Actually, no, I'll go in order. So number 1, I'm going to place the Mets because it's like they're a powerhouse team. They would have been better if they had Correa. Glad they don't because they're already that good.
You just had to bring
Number
that
2,
up, huh? You had to get that
I
shot
had
in
to
there.
rub it in there for Eddie. Number 2, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies because, I mean, the addition of Trey Turner really adds a bat to the lineup, man. They might not be the best defensive team, but they're going to score a shit ton of runs this year. So they really don't need the best defense, to be perfectly honest with you. For number 3, I'm going to go with the Padres. I mean, I can't not mention the Padres on a podcast, apparently, because I mention them every week. But they're so good. Like, they're so good. Their defense and offense, it just produces every season since they had Machado. And then for number 4, I'm going to put the St. Louis Cardinals. With I think that's a good one that you guys
It's
forgot.
not bad.
But I have them at 4 because I don't think the Astros have a better lineup than they do. I think they have a better team, but not a better lineup.
I would say the Astros have more of a power lineup than the Cardinals do. I think the Cardinals have a better contact lineup, like getting base hits, driving in a couple runs. I think the Astros definitely have a team to like go up there and take the game over, smash some homers out.
I don't think the Cardinals would beat the Astros in a game or in a series.
No, absolutely not.
But I think, let's be honest here. The Cardinals have a very good lineup coming into next year.
They do.
So we mentioned a lot of free agents here. Which teams made the best moves for you guys? I mean, let's hear some opinions on that.
I'm going to say the Cubs. Their lineup was not good last year. Not good. And their lineup this year is actually looking like they could put something together and make the postseason. So I think the Cubs actually were the team that made the most intelligent and the best moves this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The Cubs made some smart moves. They didn't go out there and spend every penny they had on their players. Signed a lot of good, decent players to 1 or 2 year contracts, trying to get a lineup together. Like I said before, like Eddie said, I think they're going to be a good team this year. I think they have a good chance of making it pretty deep. We'll have to see how it goes. I mean, I definitely think they were the smartest about it.
I think the team that made the best moves and the most expensive moves were the Mets. Their signings throughout this entire offseason were just it was ridiculous. They made moves that no MLB team has ever made before, going up almost to $800 million. Like that's ridiculous. That is unheard of. I mean, granted, Otani's contract is going to be worth like $500 million, but still, I mean, like the Mets, it was just ridiculous what they did. I can't get over that, especially because it's a division rival. I mean, but I mean, good on you guys. And then for my second one it'd be the Phillies or the Yankees picking up Rodon. I think that would be my number 2.
I would not being biased, but I think the Yankees made a pretty good choice with not just picking up players. I think they made a smart choice by paying Judge his money, re-signing Rizzo, getting Rodon. I mean, I think that definitely adds a lot to their team coming into this year again. I think that's going to help them a lot.
Honestly, I'm going to say a team that really only signed one big name, but also signed everyone on their team for so many years and for so cheap. I think the Braves, honestly, had the second best offseason besides the Cubs. They didn't sign anyone besides Sean Murphy in free agency, but you got to think they signed Acuna, Strider, Harris, Murphy for so many years and for so cheap. They're going to be a dynasty for so long. I honestly think that besides the Cubs, even though the Braves didn't go out and sign anyone big, they know what they want to do. They figured out who they wanted to stay, and they're going to start their dynasty starting the season.
Yeah, like I said before, I think the Braves definitely have one of the best lineups in baseball right now. They have a really young team. They have a really good young team. I agree with that. I mean, I definitely think it's going to be fun to watch them over the next 5-10 years, see where everybody's at, see if everybody's still healthy, still around.
I agree with you. I mean, that's like an underrated free agency offseason for them. I mean, they didn't, like you said, they only signed Sean Murphy, which is like the only big name that they really signed, but they got all those other guys for cheap. So their pitching rotation, I mean, I think it needs another guy or two, maybe. But other than that, I mean, they're pretty stacked. I don't think they're going to be much worse off than last year without Swanson. But a better offseason, I'd say. A little bit, but yeah, I don't know, man. I can't believe how low those guys are actually paid, because like it feels like they don't know their worth in a way. You know what I mean? Like they're young, so it's still like they have to prove to be in the league, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, who they pay? Strider or Fried or something like that?
They paid Strider like $66 million for like 8 years, which is
that's what I'm saying. Like that's a ridiculous low contract.
Harris, like I want to say like 9 maybe for like 97. Like he should be making $100 million in my opinion off the first year. Like Julio Rodriguez made how much? He made over $200 million, 100%. Like
yeah, somewhere around there, I think.
I heard that they're taking advantage of them, but I don't really see it as taking advantage of them. I just see it being smart and offering them early because they know that they could be some. I feel like honestly, like players, not in just the MLB, in all sports, I feel like they shouldn't care about, like, in my opinion, like $100 million is enough to live a life. If you can make that and know that you're gonna go out and win championship rings. Because, in my opinion, all that really matters in the MLB is about a ring. A pennant doesn't matter. Nothing else matters besides that championship ring on your finger. And I feel like all of that, I feel like all the players such as Strider, Harris, Acuna, all the Murphy as well, all the players on the Braves know that if they could keep this team together, stay healthy, create a chemistry like no other team has in the MLB, they could win multiple championships over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, because I know a lot of them guys that are on the Braves that they just re-signed. Obviously, Strider and Harris weren't there the last World Series. But, I mean, these are those are a lot of guys that have been playing together for a good amount of time. I mean, good couple of years. So I think the chemistry's there. I think they just got to keep working on it. I mean, got to stay healthy. Like Acuna has been having trouble. I know Albies is having some trouble. You got to keep healthy. You got to keep these guys going. I mean, you don't want to pay them the money and just have them sit in the IR all the time.
Now, this isn't on our topic list. I just want to discuss it, though. So I saw a thing before we started saying that Ohtani, I mentioned it, Ohtani being paid more than $500 million in his next contract. Where do you think he's going to go, and how much do you think he's going to get paid for how long?
I saw something that the Padres are like very, very interested in him, but like I'm not saying this just because I'm a Mets fan, but we do have the best owner in baseball. Like I heard that they want Ohtani and Machado, and I'm pretty sure that all of us know that Steve Cohen would do that. He don't care about money.
After seeing his free agency, I think he would
I wouldn't put it
spend
past him,
as much
to
as
be
he
honest with
wanted
you.
on him.
I'm pretty sure we all know the guy does not give one F about money. So
No.
I'm not saying that he's going to be a Met, but I'm saying for sure that he's going to be in the conversations with the Mets. I'm saying the Los Angeles Dodgers got to be in the conversation, of course, how much money they have. But in my opinion, I think that he's honestly either going to be a Dodger, Met, or what did I just say? A Padre.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you on that one. I think he's probably more likely staying in California somewhere. Is it going to be Dodgers or is it going to be the Padres? I know I heard a lot about the Dodgers were very interested in him, but I mean, they picked up some people in the offseason. I don't know how much is that's really going to kill the spending habits for next season, but or this coming season, I should say. I definitely could see him staying in California somewhere. Though. I don't think he's coming to the East Coast anytime soon, if ever.
I have a sleeper pick for you. The Seattle Mariners.
Oh.
I think he could definitely go there. They could – I don't know if they could afford it, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know how much they're willing to blow on a older – I wouldn't say he's older, but like it's Ohtani.
Mid to late,
It's
I think it's like later 20s.
Well, I mean, extended contract. Like if he's going to get
Yeah.
older, is he still going to be the guy that he is now? You know, especially doing
I think
what he's doing.
I think that's a big risk that a lot of teams will take on, no matter who signs him. I think that's going to be, are they going to pay him an absurd, probably record contract for him with the possibility of him becoming a one-sided player? I mean, not saying I think he's ever going to be a one-sided player, but do you want to take that risk on a $500 million give or take contract?
That is the question. I mean, I wish I was a GM. I mean, I would offer him a couple bucks, you know, 2, 3, but maybe the Rangers too. I mean, I could see the Rangers should pick up Trevor Bauer, in my honest opinion, because if they're loading up to make a postseason run, they should pick up either him, Ohtani next year, or Trevor Bauer now for cheap. Because
I like Trevor Bauer
ridiculous.
a lot. Not his personality,
not as a
pitching
person,
wise.
but as a pitcher.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get the podcast canceled or anything, but yeah, I mean, I definitely think he was still in his prime, dominant years when all that went down. I definitely think a team would be smart to pick him up.
I don't know, man. I just see the Rangers doing that. It's a weird feeling because they picked up DeGrom. They got what the hell is his name? I can't think of it. But him to back up DeGrom. If they have a solid 3 guy, I mean that's a good rotation. Especially
someone to pick him up for a 3 or 4 spot.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
I could see him.
I don't know. What'd you say?
Well, the only reason I can't see Ohtani going to the Rangers is because I know that the Rangers also have Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker in their in their farm system, who are like very good pitchers. They both play together at Vanderbilt too, which is pretty tough. But I feel like the Trevor Bauer thing that we were saying in the last podcast would also would be very good for them. Would not also be good for Texas, and be also good for Kumar and Jack to be mentored by Bauer and DeGrom, and hopefully them two could be one of the best pitchers in baseball. Like them two are.